What's up, my friends, my foes,
And who knows?
and who knows? This is the 502 coming at you, and we got stuff to talk about.
Today we are going to talk about movie topics, good, bad, anything in between. Andy, what do you good movie? What are we going to?
Let's see here.
First one that kind of pops in your
Starting with a
head.
good movie?
Yeah.
Okay, good movies. Let's do Tombstone.
'Kay.
You and me Tombstone lovers, aren't we?
We know Tombstone very, very well.
Like the back of our hands, I'd say.
That's one of those movies where you know me, I'm a firm believer where I don't care if it's a classic. It's either a good movie and has good acting or it doesn't, you know. And Tombstone is definitely one of those movies, even though it's an old movie and you watch it, and I know you feel the same, I don't think it's corny. I don't think it, there's parts where, they don't have CGI, they don't have all that stuff to, lean on. But it's one of those movies where the acting, the productions,
Right.
yeah, and we're both big one-liner guys. We like repeating lines, and a movie's got to have quotes and stuff.
Well, I think you talked about how certain movies have like a corniness aspect to it, and Tombstone, I believe, has none of that in it. It's just a great film. It's done so well. The cast,
It's great.
in my opinion, for Tombstone is one of the best, for all I know, if not the best, cast assembled for a film. With Val Kilmer, Kurt Russell, Sam Elliott,
Yep.
Bill Paxton.
Does Sam Elliott know how to play anything but a cowboy?
I know, he's in
Ah,
Westerns galore. He's in
honestly,
Westerns galore. That's all he does. That's
even in Big Lebowski, there's another movie. He's
Yes.
still a cowboy
That's true.
in the Big Lebowski.
That's true.
That's all he knows.
It's just certain actors play a part, and that's the part that he plays.
It's his comfort zone, and he doesn't like to go out of it.
I think what's interesting in Tombstone is the dynamic that they had in Wyatt Earp and Val Kilmer, because a lot of the Wyatt Earp movies before Tombstone really centralized everything on Wyatt Earp, and they kind of portrayed Doc Holliday.
Do you think that
Val
was?
Kilmer played
Do you
as
think that was
the enemy.
intentional? That when they made
Yes.
Tombstone, because Kurt Russell, he's a front headliner.
Right.
Val Kilmer is not.
No. At the time, he wasn't.
Right.
But-
So do you think when they originally came out with Tombstone that it was supposed to be a Kurt Russell hurrah movie or a Val Kilmer hurrah movie? There's no way it was Val Kilmer.
That's interesting to me because I think it was meant to be a more typical centralized Wyatt Earp movie, but in the end, it really ended up to be Val Kilmer.
Val stole the show.
Val stole the show with Michael Behan playing Johnny Ringo.
Yes.
It ended up being those two stealing the show at the end, like you said. But Kurt Russell did a great job doing Wyatt Earp.
Who
and
played Curly Bill? I don't know who that actor
Powers
is.
Booth.
Powers Booth.
Powers Booth played Curly Bill, and
Even those supporting actors are just great. The way they
Unbelievable.
played their roles.
they're unbelievable. It's just, the cast is so incredible to me. Powers Booth was great. He provided that kind of comical relief a little bit in what some
Absolutely.
people consider a very violent movie, because there's very violent parts.
Defusing stressful, tense situations.
Right. He goes into the bar and drinks are on me.
Right.
He's that.
When it was very tense and everybody's on edge and
He's that.
don't mind him, he's just drunk, that's all.
Right. He's that enemy that is still liked in the eyes of the viewers.
Yes.
People watching the film.
Yes.
Another thing I like about that film is it's one of the first Westerns to depict what people actually wore, like the colors. Powers Booth, Curly Bill, had that very bright red shirt. A lot of people expressed their uniqueness in the things that they wore. You see Doc Holliday wear a lot of his, tailored suits. And that's what they have in the facts, that's what people wore back then. They kind of showed their wealth. Whereas a lot of the older Westerns are just kind of drowned out by sepia tone, which is black and white.
Yes.
And everybody thinks everybody's wearing browns and grays and blacks. And yeah, but a lot of it was very colorful. There's
Yep.
very, very
100%.
colorful.
With that, so from Tombstone, because it is, and we're big line guys, what's your go-to line
Sure.
from Tombstone? If you,
Sure.
mine for me,
We say so many. We say
I
so
know,
many.
and it's one of those movies that does have so many one-liners. Mine for me, of course, is going to come from Doc Holliday because Val just got so many in that movie. Mine for me is
Vino
when they
Veritas.
when he comes out of the bar and Kurt Russell is got Ike after Ike shot
Yep.
the sheriff,
Yep.
and I don't remember what the one actor's name is. When he was playing the piano, comes up and tells him to play those. He's like, "Do you know so and so and whatever
yeah.
the but whoever that is, Billy."
Billy the Kid.
Is that who that's supposed to be? Is Billy the kid? Is that his name? I just know his name's Billy.
It was Billy. I don't know. I could be.
Because I remember out in the street,
wrong.
Billy's like, "Oh, he's bluffing," and I was like, "No, Billy, he ain't bluffing." He's like, "Oh, he's not as
Yep.
stupid as you look." That's not my favorite line. That's a great line too, but it's when Doc comes out and goes, "And you, music lover,
lover, yes.
you're next."
Yes.
And he's like, "Oh, you're the drunk piano player. You're so drunk, you're probably seeing
double.
two."
You're probably seeing double.
He's like, "I got 2 guns, one for both." Yeah,
One for each of ya.
That is
One for
great.
each of ya.
That is iconic.
There needs to be more movies, I think, like this one, because it just really fits into this suave and smooth. And,
Yes.
But being a bad
But
guy,
still-
but being suave.
Yes.
And that, I think, is something that a lot of guys kind of try to capture that image themselves. You know,
Yep.
being this bad guy, but that still has
It's the deal
this charm and this
when you're in the bar
smoothness to 'em.
or when you're with your buddies and someone's giving you crap about something, or you're in the bar with a guy saying something to you. It's movies like that. It's guys like Doc Holliday. You want to be quick-witted and smooth like Doc Holliday in
Right.
situations. Everybody wants to be Doc Holliday in situations. Always got the right thing to say, even when he's on his deathbed and looking like, like Johnny Ringo says, "You still in your you retired too?"
Yeah.
Like, "Oh, me? I'm in my prime." Yeah, you look
prime,
it.
yeah.
See, even that is just great.
Finesse.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's finesse.
Okay, so we've talked about the good. Tombstone, which I know me and you
Phenomenal.
both, one of our tops.
Phenomenal. If you haven't seen it, you need to go watch that movie.
Absolutely.
Go watch that movie.